because like I think another thing to keep like to consider at least would be consistency. Like how good has all your work been like throughout the years?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
like,
makes sense.
do you know when to stop, or like is there like a decline at some point? Like, because Kanye's had some lows.
Yeah, really lows.
I mean, they haven't been like like terrible, but they haven't been really well received by everyone.
Yeah.
Because like everything was going good up until like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Then not everyone was really fucking with Jesus.
Yeah.
And same with the Life of Pablo and Ye. Like those ones are definitely on like the low end for Kanye.
But isn't that kind of like the point of like being an artist, is that you're always like trying to find what makes you different, and sometimes like that doesn't always like play into the favor of like the masses, or like people in general just don't like the shit that you made, but like, or some people do like your stuff more than other people, right? Like as an artist, like you have the ability to like put out different shit and see like, oh, like is people fucking with this or not, and then like from there you kind of like can like, you know,
right,
take that and then make it your style, or leave it and be like, okay, nobody was fucking with this, I'm gonna try something else.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have artists experiment and try to see what else they're capable of, but I don't know, like,
because like what if you made like, you know, Late Registration, Graduation, and then like another album that fucking sounded exactly the same as the first two.
That's true.
Like, you know, they'd be like, well, why the fuck did you make the same album? Like, you know, like,
I mean, that comes with like that's the thing though, because you can have people who have very similar styles throughout time, but what they talk about is different.
Okay.
Just kind of like as they age. Fuck, I can't really think of any examples though. Like, because everyone as people get progressively deeper into their art, they'll talk about different stuff, but like the sound might be a little bit different. Like that's probably just gonna come with it. I don't know, because
would you say any of the like Lupe Fiasco like albums are like, do they transcend like from where he was before to like where he is now?
Yeah, I mean, sound-wise, they've actually been all very similar, except for Lasers.
Okay.
But he didn't want that album anyway. But what he talks about is a little bit different each time. Kind of like as he gets older, like Food and Liquor was just him like being young, and then like The Cool was him. Everything after Food and Liquor was more of a concept album with Lupe though, because even The Cool was like a concept album. It's not as in your face as some other ones, but like it had like an underlying story of like an up and coming rapper.
All right.
And then I'm gonna ignore Lasers, but Food and Liquor 2 was all like that was also a concept album. I don't remember what it was about because I didn't really listen to it too much. But then Tetsuo and Youth was him just coming back and like being like, okay, I'm just gonna go super lyrical and like do all these super obscure metaphors that no one understands. I'm sure there was a story behind that too. And then like Drogas Wave is like about a slave ship getting mutinied and all the slaves like building like a culture underwater.
So just like totally different. Like, I know
everything sounds very similar.
But like now we're over here.
Yeah, I mean everything sounds like, but the sound wise it sounds very similar. Like in his rhyme schemes like very similar still. It's just the metaphors and like the deeper stuff. It's a little bit more out there as he gets older.
Yeah, what are some like artists that you've like seen grow that you like really like their transitions?
Mac Miller.
I would say Mac, but I don't want to say Mac.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
He died too soon. That's probably why.
Honestly, I would say Joey Badass. And honestly, I would say it because he's like the same age as me. And it's like when I first actually started to hear him, it was when I first started to make music, which is in like 2010, you know. And he was cool. I was like, this like he's like fucking like he's like hell like deep and shit.
What's up, man?
As far as just like the concept that he has. Just 1 second.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm fine. Because I'm just trying to. Let me see if I can do some more.
Okay.
You got that cheese puff taken care of?
I'm eating some too.
So yeah. So I would say just like Joey Badass. Just because
So what was before 1999?
Summer Nights?
nah, that came after.
Summer Nights came after?
The first project I heard from, honestly, if I'm being real, I haven't heard like that project
1999.
in a while.
Oh, okay.
Like I heard about probably just about like 2 or 3 tracks. But what really put me on them was Summer Nights. Like that shit is crazy, and it's not the shit that you have on like Spotify or like SoundCloud or anything like that. It's like his real, like it's like from like I think it's about like 16 tracks, something like that. But it's a long project actually, and that's what kind of like he's one of the greatest rappers of all time. Just because like he's so young. And the shit he's saying is like, it's just crazy. It's just like, I'll fuck with it.
I really liked the newest album that he did.
All American Badass?
Yeah, it was cool. But honestly, I felt like it was just...
You want to hear for it?
Nah, not at all. I just felt like when he dropped that album, it was a lot of shit going on in the world. It just so happened that you had G.O.A.T drop an album, and then
like For Your Eyes.
Yeah, and then
it was also the same year Damn came out.
Yeah, same year Damn. So
and 444.
Yeah. So it's just like.
But I feel like out of those, like I didn't really listen to 444, but like out of the 3 that I did listen to, like Damn and like For Your Eyes Only, like I felt like that was the best one. Yeah, honestly, like I thought that like. The way that he lyricized what was going on in America, like for Black people, was like the best. Like I fuck with Kendrick, but I feel like the way that he did his shit was like a lot more like pop-esque, right? Like you could play that shit on the radio. Yeah. And then I felt like For Your Eyes Only, like I'm just not a huge Cole fan, and I know like everyone hates me for that, but like I really like. I really don't fuck with him. Like, I really don't fuck with him like that. And then, like,
it's hard sometimes. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck are you putting out?
Oh, but by the way, this is the 11th episode that we're talking about J. Cole.
We're talking about kids every episode. No matter what it is.
Because it's like, this is why he's the GOAT, because it's like, we always gotta talk about it.
Yeah, and then I just felt like, you know, out of all the people who were talking about it, like, he lyricized the best. You know.
But you know,
out of those 3 for sure.
Yeah,
but
it was the best rap.
Yeah, like if we're talking about like genuine rap, like
yeah, most definitely. And I feel you on that, you know.
And it had songs that could easily be radio songs.
Could have, yeah.
But like kind of like what Kendrick did on Good Kid, Mad City, like
yeah, it's
like they sound radio, but you can definitely like there's a meaning there.
To it,
yeah,
you know. But yeah, I feel you on that. But one of the main reasons why I don't really like
that album.
It's like whatever, it's cool, stuff like that. But I just felt like at that time, it was just kind of like in the time where it was just all hype. Like not even like in a bad way, 'cause it's gonna sound like fucked up. But it was just like a time like okay, like
Oh, you're talking about it now.
Yeah,
'cause of-
it's just
'cause of-
like oh shit, you know, you was woke because you know you like you know you now trying to address these issues, and I just feel like a whole lot of people just like hopped on that train. Same shit with Cole, same shit with Kendrick.
Kendrick been talking about it.
Well,
Though.
but that's what I'm saying.
Like
The same with Cole.
yeah.
You know, they've been on that shit, but it was just like.
And honestly, if I'm being real with you, like I don't even feel like Kendrick's album, like the newest album, Damn, was like yeah, like was
great. I'm not gonna lie.
no, like I did like it, but like it wasn't even about like I think
Yeah, like
you know
struggles,
like
I'm talking about.
yeah, like it's not about struggles, like
It's about him.
yeah, it's like you like, and if you listen to like list of all the tracks, like you know, is talking about human experience, like love, fear, right? Like those things that people go through.
Yeah, I feel like it's more of like
Humble, like yeah.
an analysis of his life, just in rhyme.
You know, I almost forgot one album that came out around that time too. I'm kind of upset that I did.
Was it Funk Wave Volumes 1?
No, you know it. Nah, it's not
Was
that.
it Big Sean?
Nah,
Okay, I do like that album.
Nah.
though.
Big Sean.
you know it because.
Calvin Harris?
Yeah,
You know
I like
it.
that shit. Like, stop fucking with me.
Well, I know you know it because
Uncle Bounce.
you probably didn't even like have no interest in it at all.
Was it Culture?
Nah.
Because that I think they did come around that time.
Nah,
But
it has the same concept as like Joey Badass's album. Same concept, bro. Talk about the same shit, bro. But you know this shit.
no, what is it?
It's Logic shit.
Logic.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
that's when everybody came
It's
out.
Logic.
Oh yeah.
That
is
shit,
what
bro,
everybody-
it was just like, you know, when I heard then I heard Joey Badass's, I was just like, damn, Logic, like, you just sound like a culture vulture. Just honestly, like.
That is what he is.
Like, well, I honestly,
Yeah.
I fuck with Logic. I do. He can spit as fuck.
Yeah,
but-
but
Yeah.
he doesn't have his own flow.
That. I
He
think-
steals everything from everyone.
Well,
He even stole beats from Kendrick.
really did.
Like on Under Pressure. One of the beats sounds a lot like "Sing About Me, I'm Down with Thirst."
I mean, honestly, I can say he's influenced. I fuck with Logic, but I can see he's a little bit corny sometimes.
Hey,
No,
did
I
you know he's
feel now it's
biracial?
corny. Yeah.
You said what?
No,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I know he's biracial, but there's this one song where it was like he did a song with like Marshmello, and that's so pop. Like
Like recently, right?
yeah, I'm like no, I mean like the Logic that I know is he just spits rhymes like
Yeah, and that's why I liked Young Sinatra more than the other ones.
Yeah.
Like I liked Under Pressure. And
Under
I
Pressure
liked,
School as fuck.
like, cause like that was my first introduction to him. I'm like, oh, he's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then when everything else came out, I'm like, it sounds hella corny
yeah,
and hella preachy.
mm-hmm.
But then like Young Sinatra 4 was pretty good.
yeah.
Like,
That shit, honestly, I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
What
I like
about
Young
it was
Sinatra.
preachy.
I didn't like it at all. I'm
Like Logic
sorry.
stuff?
It was
Yeah.
cool. It wasn't Young Sinatra though, and I'm gonna sound like a hater.
nah, yeah. No,
I fuck with
it's
Logic.
like a return to his roots, though.
Yeah, it's cool, but you know, I mean, honestly, I feel like his stories that he tells in the tracks are dope as fuck. It's hella inspirational. But sometimes I'm just like Logic. I understand. Talk about the same shit sometimes.
Wasn't that like people's like dislike with like Run the Jewels too? It was like they're like so like preachy.
Who?
Run the Jewels.
I don't know if it's preachy. Like,
It's just
preachy might
different.
not be the right word for it.
You don't think so?
I think people
Or
are
like even with
used
Logic,
to
it might not be the word for it. But like it's really repetitive, I guess. Like at least with Logic, what he says. Run the Jewels, I can see that as well. Like just it sounded very similar. Like
Wait, so I like honestly, I got a question. It sounds stupid as fuck. Who is running? Is that like a group?
it's Killer
It's a
Mike and
group.
LP.
how productive.
You said what is who?
Killer Mike and LP. Man, you missing out.
From Company Flow.
They got 3 albums already.
Honestly,
You have to listen
It's
to the cat
it's the
one.
logo with the
The Fist and the Gun.
yeah.
Like,
So
the
Run the
fist
Jewels
oriented.
basically means like you're getting robbed.
yeah, give me my money.
Yeah.
Give me the
So
money, I got you.
but
It's crazy.
Yeah, but El Producto, like he's been around for like
Hell
forever.
long.
Yeah, but people don't know him. Like it's weird.
I know.
Unless you're
I
like
posted
an
all of his
underground.
like hella random shit earlier this week.
Yeah, so it's like if you're really down, like if you're really underground backpacker.
Straight up backpack.
Yeah, Killer Mike, you probably would know.
You would know him if you supported Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was all around the.
Yeah.
But Killer Mike's been
Sanders?
around for a minute. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I just need another Killer Mike or LP album, like just on their own.
I really like the cat version.
Kenny bought that album.
It's so good.
Like, he bought the cat version. He bought Meow the Jewels.
It's so good. I feel like that's an underrated album.
It's pretty good.
Meow the Jewels.
Yeah.
Meow the Jewels.
Yeah,
Just
when you
really, like,
when you replace
just
every
like
verse
fucking gigs.
or every
I know.
line with meow,
It's
Yeah.
like new. You just try to get it.
I just got it because of the picture.
This shit's good, bro.
I'm
gonna try his new beer every
He
time.
won't stop talking about it.
This shit's good, bro.
Let me get one.
Yeah. Grapefruit.
This shit-
Grapefruit.
Yeah,
It's
grapefruit
actually pretty
IPA.
good. It's surprising. It's not like strong.
You've never had that before?
It's
I
pretty
feel like I
smooth.
might have now, but
Yeah.
That shit's good too. That shit caught me off. I was like, shit, I'm smoking some weed today. I was like, fuck. That shit's pretty cool though.
You didn't even have to fuck up your lungs, just your liver.
My lungs are already fucked up and my liver.
Alright, well then,
So, you know what?
whatever.
Fuck it. Let's just fuck them both up.
Fucking.
It was good. Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Man, that's crazy.
no, you need to get some
Yeah, what
Run
is
the
it?
Jewels
What?
on there.
Are you for real?
Yeah, sure.
You have homework. Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
for
albums
sure.
are
right
really,
here,
really
like-
short. They're like,
I'm sure.
Your books are still
But
like right there.
you
like
see-
10 songs long.
Yeah, it's not even that long.
But
You definitely heard some of them though.
I probably have, but see the thing with me, I'm not trying to like sound like hell, like hell. I'm not trying to sound hell like weird and shit.
But you are though.
Most definitely, I think we all got some weird traits in us. But since I started to make like music and shit like that, I don't really like to. I'm not gonna say I don't like to, but I don't really like listen to like lyrics. I listen to beats.
I mean,
That's
that's,
some good stuff.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So-
Like, because Run the Jewels, like, it's still mostly produced by LP, right?
No, I mean
Yeah.
like.
Even Killer Mike's last album was fully produced by LP and has one of the
Yeah.
best beats, which is on the album ever.
But no, it's like I listen to just
Just the beats,
instrumentals. Like I would literally
Now you're just
like
giving us excuses to not
no,
listen
no,
to
no,
the album.
no,
Like-
it's not like that. I'm not like for sure. I'm gonna hear this shit, but I'm just saying like what me personally, what
Yeah.
I've been
Right,
listening
that's what
to
you just put on.
is just
Beats.
instrumentals.
Yeah.
Like just to like legit. I listen to like some fucking Paul Hardcastle. I fuck with Paul Hardcastle. Let me make some smooth ass jazz, bro. That's the shit that I was playing. And
Yeah.
like, bro,
No, I
turn
was
this
fucking
shit
with
off.
it.
They was like, yo, turn this shit off.
Hey,
Niggas
bro,
putting
like,
to sleep.
that wasn't me though.
I listened to some Paul Hardcastle. I listened to some fucking Galamedas. How do you pronounce his name? But he's the guy who did. He's a guy who did a lot of shit.
You ever listen to
What the-
Kiefer?
Who's that?
He's like a pianist.
I've
He does beats.
probably heard of him.
He's cool. Like the Alchemist.
Alchemist.
I know Alchemist. I know for sure.
Madlib. He does a lot of jazz beats.
I know Madlib.
Ninth Wonder.
I know
Ninth
about
Wonder.
Ninth Wonder. I know about Nujie Beast. I know about Jay Dilla, of course. Everybody
You
knows
Jay
better
Dilla.
know what it is.
Dilla with that swing, but he's the one who
He did
had
all
that
the classics.
Swing,
Black
like,
Milk.
that swing. He said who?
Black Milk.
Black Milk, yeah, Black Milk.
Scotch Scorch.
Come on, bro. Hey, you know what's crazy?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the goats.
Scotch Scorch? Because he's
Yeah, oh, I'm talking.
He's one of the goats. He's for sure one of the goats, but man, bro, his downfall was just so depressing.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, damn, bro, he made that fucking Destiny Child. No, not Destiny Child. Like, he made
What-
that Beyonce track, Me, Myself, and I.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the smoothest
scratch.
beats I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those
On piano.
those chords. Oh my god, bro! I fuck with Scott Storch, but my man got to come back, bro, because I miss my guy.
Yeah.
And before we get too off topic, so we kind of touched on who's considered a GOAT, but like I mean the obvious, like Biggie, Pac, Nas, Hope.
You forgot our Kanye.
Oh yeah, Kanye.
Yeah, Kanye.
Like Kanye is definitely he's getting there. Yeah, well,
He is there, but
he's more
there,
production.
but it's just like he's losing his card. It's like, bro.
yeah,
You're gonna be forgotten soon as you keep on
Yeah, you see
talking
this GOAT? Yeah, it's gonna be
exactly.
You know, bro, this GOAT card is gonna be tossed out.
we gonna cut it.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. Like,
Jay-Z.
yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I would say 50 Cent.
What about Eminem?
Yeah, definitely Eminem.
Honestly, I feel like you
Up
have
until what
to.
point?
I feel like honestly, I feel like you have to because
Up
he's
to
white.
what point?
I think he's still, regardless.
Oh yeah.
Even if he fell off, he's
yeah.
still the best.
But I feel like you have to because he's white.
Ooh.
No,
Like the only
it
white
sounds
rapper
fucked
to
up.
defend himself. Like, is that what you're saying?
It
Like,
sounds fucked up, but I mean, like,
I mean, to be fair,
Which
like,
dope,
he's
right?
Like a Jewish
It's-
white guy.
it's like, it's
but
like,
I mean, he's not as well known. So.
it's like,
I mean, Dave Chappelle gave him a black card.
yeah, you know,
Oh
Dave
my
Chappelle,
God.
it's Dave Chappelle, but it's like, which white rappers
Jeezy.
are like that fucking dope?
Oh, ooh.
I'm saying like,
Yeah, you're right.
like,
You're right.
you got to.
G-Eazy.
Oh,
She's not that fucking dope.
he said that dude.
Cool.
That was the.
I'm talking about like,
I mean, like, to be the G.O.A.T.
yeah.
I mean, LP.
That's black, right?
Well, I would say Mac Miller.
Mac
I
Miller?
would say Mac, you know, but that's it.
That's the thing though. Like I wouldn't consider his early stuff like even like
You know? Oh,
like
honestly,
his
yeah,
first
I
couple like things like they sounded kind of generic almost.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
Like at least like the way he was going for sure.
Yeah, you talking about kids, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Kids
I
and
know.
Blue Slide
Yeah.
Park.
I feel you on that.
Like everything after that though, like you could see his progression. Like
yeah,
definitely.
it was like lyrics,
Yeah.
bars. With that watching movies, I was like, this nigga can spit. I'm like,
But I don't.
fuck.
But I don't feel like Mac Miller is like. I feel like he's half of what Eminem is. Like like I just. I don't
he hasn't
feel like.
accomplished as much as Eminem.
Right.
Well, and he never will now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So here we are. Yeah. But like, honestly, like, Eminem was like hard out the gate. Like,
He was.
Like,
he
you know,
had
like-
to be though.
Girl with nut, that nigga came up like, fuck.
But that's the thing though. He had to be like that
Had to be.
He had to
because
prove himself because of
like
his,
there was no white people in rap except for Beastie Boys.
It was big as fuck. Well, shit, never mind.
you don't like Beastie Boys?
Why you said why?
I do.
Grass Monkey?
My bad. I got confused with fucking Vanilla Ice.
Oh, what?
Sorry.
Not all white people are the same. Shit. God damn it.
I'm sorry.
Bruh.
For real?
But, hey, he probably be like,
But you're
hey,
right.
bro, that's right, because he gets everybody.
Eminem don't give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck.
yeah.
I mean, I would consider him, but like, it's hard with his
So
last
then
couple
that
albums.
just like gives Mac Miller a
Although I'm
pass.
wearing an Eminem jacket.
I know. Like, so then that just gives like Mac Miller a pass. Whatever.
He's
he has
accomplished
his-
a lot.
His like life wasn't as hard, so he like does or like
Right.
now
I
that
mean,
there's one white rapper, like everybody else can like.
well, no,
be
because
subpar.
like before, if you were a white rapper, everyone would hate on you, like
Yeah.
immediately. Like, I mean, that was still the case as Mac Miller was coming around, but a lot less so.
But he like didn't give himself like a good enough like option to not be hated either because of his like first two albums.
Right.
And then we still let him make albums.
I mean, but everyone in hip hop has respect for Mac Miller.
Yeah.
Like it's like even when he passed, they're like, oh shit! Like everyone had some sort of like connection with him. Like even if they've never done a song together, they still had a connection to him.
Yeah.
That's most people can't really say that about Eminem, like except for Dr. Dre and 50 Cent and D12. Bizarre.
And Exhibit.
Exhibit.
Bizarre will always have Eminem's back though. He'll put out a diss track towards GK, even though no one was talking about Bizarre.
He just jumps in there.
I don't know. Like I feel like if Mac was still alive, he would be on the track to be a GOAT.
Yep.
Underground.
Most definitely. I wouldn't say underground. Honestly, I wouldn't say underground.
That, yeah,
You don't think so?
No, I don't think
There's
so.
like
He
no
for sure
under-
wasn't underground. I think that he was overlooked because he was just like he was so happy, and it was just like,
and he was white.
yeah, happy and white. So it's like it's just like
Until you broke up.
Yeah, and then it's like you don't really know. It's the same shit with G.O.A.T. It's just like. I'm not trying to compare Mac with Jeezy, but let's just say, this is knock on wood, like, regardless, if he does happen to pass away, they're going to start to appreciate his music more, or just be like, yo, he was actually good.
But, like, no matter how much Mac was appreciated, like, I don't think they would put his stuff on the radio.